जरूर, पण कोकणीच्या ऐवजी इंग्रजीत बोलतो. हो, कोकणीत बोलणं म्हणजे माझी परीक्षा होईल. सन्माननीय व्यासपीठ, सभागृहात उपस्थित सर्व मान्यवर, बंधू भगिनींनो, let me at the outset express gratitude for this great honor that the Hindu Research Foundation has done to me by way of this very distinguished Acharya Kaṇāda Award. I have been, we have talking about it continuity from the period of these great rishis in whose name we are all getting decorated, and we are talking about modern science going forward. It's a great continuity. In between there have been some breaks, some gaps. So I thought by way of this acceptance speech, let me express a few points in that regard. The first one is, I think it is these great people, when they discovered various things for which they are known and for which we feel so proud, I think we should recognize that they did that ahead of anybody else. The world didn't know, but these people did it. And any one of the 7 rishis on whose name we have these awards, and many others. Today, if you are looking for countries which are leading countries, advanced countries, they are there because they do things, particularly in science and technology, which nobody else has done till that point of time. That's what brings the Nobel Prize, that's what brings the new researchers. And I think this distinction we should recognize, and I feel very humbled that are we really qualified to receive these awards in the name of these rishis. At least I feel I'm of course very proud of whatever I could do, whatever I could contribute. But if I ask a question to myself, that have I done something which nobody had done before, like the great rishis have done, I think I had to answer in the negative. And that's the big difference. And we should kind of recognize how we should take the country forward. If you want to take country forward, we must bring in new technologies, new researches which nobody has done before, as I said. And now, what are the new areas? Of course, we are all talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning. As Dr. Bhatkar says, there is a big fear that, so far we had the technologies, and whether the technology would be used for good or for the evil purposes would depend on human mind. So we did expect that as long as the humanity or human values survive, mankind will always make use of technology for good purposes, or otherwise there will be some other evolved human minds which will bring things under control if they go out. Now we are talking about artificial intelligence. So now if you have technologies which evolve themselves not by human mind but by artificial mind, and you already see some of these blogs. At this moment they are essentially blogs, but they are talking about that, look, as Dr. Bhatkar says, that it has the power of destroying the humanity itself. Now, at that time, who will control that? An evil mind, evil human mind can be controlled by a bias, a benign human mind. An evil artificial intelligence, you probably have to generate a benign artificial intelligence to control. So, and things are happening way faster today than they were happening in the past. So there is a challenge. Talking more generally, I think governance anywhere, the way things are evolving, are we able to evolve governance systems to manage things at the speed at which the new things are coming forward? And you will notice that there is a challenge. How are we going to deal with this challenge unless these issues are addressed promptly? So the point is, we need to bridge this gap of the advancement in technologies which is taking place and the advancement in technologies which we are doing in our country. And if you ask a question whether that gap is getting close or widening, I will leave the answer for you to figure out. I am at least worried about this. The second part is with respect to the what one may call that we have our own society to serve. If you have the best of technology, and if that best of technology gives a lot of power in the hands of a few, it may be few nations, it may be few people, that's an invitation to disparity. And that's what we are seeing. Now, if you want to eliminate that disparity, then you need to bridge this disconnect. And you want to bridge this disconnect, then translation of research, technology, and the societal benefit has to be a continuum. And if you want to do that, again we need to mend our ways to be able to do that effectively. So I think there are lots of cultural issues that need to be addressed in sorting out both these distinct scenarios. One of going forward in a manner that we bridge the gap between us and the best of the world, and another where we make sure that taking new science, or for that matter existing science, for the benefit of our own people as a continuum. One, we need to eliminate, dissolve silos across disciplines. And for the second, we need to dissolve silos across people of different kind. I can't say I'm a researcher, I can't say I'm a technologist, I can't say I'm an entrepreneur, I can't say I do business, I can't say I do social service. These are all silos, I think, and you can't be looking at them in isolation. It has to be a continuum, and that is what we need to be concerned about, and we need to be doing something about. People in past, they understood the principle of self-similarity. Acharya Kaṇāda could figure out that the power of, you divide things, make it smaller and smaller. But just because it's becoming smaller doesn't mean that it becomes less power. In fact, its power is higher. The power of atom is far more than power of electrons, which is chemical energy. and power of subatomic particles is even more compared to power of atom, which we are yet to see. Maybe we'll see it at some day. Now, you could notice, or rather our ancestors had noticed, that there is something similar between this and what we observe in the sky, what we observe in the universe. And a friend of mine, he actually studied this and figured out that even our temples, design of Hindu temples, are based on this principle of self-similarity. It's the same thing with which the leaves for a particular tree go and they appear similar. Or for that matter, there are a lot of principles of self-similarity between different leaves. The beach marks which you see on the sea coast, and a number of natural phenomena. So in fact, they made the architectural principles for design of temples which are based on self-similarity, so that when we go and worship the Almighty, we recognize this power of life, that is self-similarity. And that's what, to my mind, our ancient Rishi-munis had recognized. Now, I think we need to, when we mix up, and I'll just give you one example and stop. This is not the time to make a long speech. Take case of the modern medicine and traditional medicine, and we know, and there is a big effort, but we are trying to unify them. And I have been looking at this from the practical perspective.